Hey guys, it's Gadget, and I'm doing this on another YouTube one because well, I gotta adjust the camera too. It's a little whatever, but I just wanted to update you guys because, like I've been doing on Facebook, I've done live feeds, and some of you don't have my Facebook page. So basically, you know, what, it's coming in my chair, but anyway, all right. So here's the thing. I gave Christopher enough time to fix this, and he hasn't. So I have two boxes to show you over there, and a cat that's scratching my couch up. Okay, if you've not seen Facebook, I have, like I said, been inundated with over now 100 phone calls between text messages and everything else over the fact of things that now I'm gotta make sure the cat does not step on the keyboard or anything like that because I have the cat. That's why my hand was like that. Okay. Um, because of the situation that Christopher Graham John Fiegel has done. It seems that I am finding out a lot of stuff that he has lied about. That he basically either I could say male egoed it. Most of you girls know what I'm talking about, or guys, male egoed it. All right, so we understand that and everything and stuff like that. But here's the thing I've been getting, and this is what I've been trying to tell people. This is why I don't understand people because each person is an individual. Each person understands things. You can hear the cat scratching the couch, and he's not supposed to. Each person understands love, friendship, romance, everything in a way that's different. All right. My thing with that is the fact that in a household where if you wanted a hug, it was like, why do you want a hug? What did you do? What do you need? Like, why do you want a hug? Never hugged. My mother never liked to hug. My father never liked to hug. All right. We weren't a hugging family, but the people I was raised by were hugging people. It's weird and everything. Also, when I was being tested for my dyslexia, I also was being tested for other things like autism, Asperger's, and everything. Back then, they didn't know what it was, right? And other things. And I have been tested for a lot of stuff. And I have been retested in schools and everything to the point where I have dyslexia full blown. But my version of dyslexia is part color blindness. That's why the lenses. It helps the words not move on the screen. Plus, certain colors don't translate right. Plus, of my light sensitivity to my eyes. All this other stuff that has been diagnosed over the years. That a lot of times my mother and my sister think they know it all. They haven't gone through all the testing I have after the fact that I had to pay for and things to find out years later. My mother only has the initial testing from when my records were sealed at 18 because during that, those records are sealed. After 18, then you have to get reevaluated and everything as an adult. So everything from 18 back is me sealed as a child. So to get funding, they tried to dumb things down and everything, and I refused to be part of that. And it caused a lot of grief with people because I have an IQ of over 200 and something. I'm close to 300. I am very good with computers and things. I can manipulate certain things with technology and things like that. But I don't do all that or show that I have a brain because it intimidates a lot of people, but not anymore. I will be showing a brain. So how does this all relate to things that are going on now with the things that have been happening and what Christopher and everything? Here's the difference. I was raised by people who you could classify now as having autism, Asperger's, older relatives, grand relatives, because back then they never knew what things were. If you look at my family and some things, you could see things, especially with one of my relatives and everything. And I've noticed it when I was taking biopsychology and all the other things. Like, here's the thing about people, they don't realize. You know why I'm not a biopsychologist now, or a psychology major, or anything like that, or working in a hospital and stuff? Is because my father is a blue collar worker who could not afford anything, and me being dyslexic, it was very hard to get a scholarship and everything because between dealing with my mother being bipolar and all the other stuff and everything else, plus dealing with things that nobody in this family will admit to, I had to literally try my best to pass all my classes. I came across teachers that did not like dyslexics. I came across everything. So here's why I am not a biopsychologist, even though I love biopsychology to explain the physical for the mental. Okay? My father said unless I got a scholarship, there was really no money for me to continue on to school. So I had to then switch my majors into something that I was using that is really more me. And that's a blessing in disguise because I love doing PR, promoting, and everything. I love being around people. I think outside the box. I have a new way of thinking with PR because the standard PR does not work for someone who is dyslexic or in this world with the millennials and the visual learners. That's the old PR. So you see where I'm getting with this, right? So, but the stipulation in my family was this. If no matter if you the disability, that no, that never held you back. They treated me like a regular child in the sense of I was told no, I couldn't get away with things with my disability. If I had a hard time reading something, my tutors were also very odd with my parents and everything because my parents were like, no, make her read it again. She's got to learn. No, she's not going to be, no one's going to help her. She's got to learn, right? Even though I got frustrated and everything and stuff like that, my parents like, nope, you're doing it over. No throwing things, no, right? It put me in a place where it was like, I would rather, like, you know, it just taught me that I had to have self-control, that if I get frustrated with something, I don't throw something, I don't do things. It basically taught me how to solve my own problems, deal with the situation, think outside the box, which brings me to the thing I'm talking about with Christopher. Now, like I said, when I met Christopher back in, I had sent an email on OkCupid back on, 2012, right before all the other idiots and everything. Christopher took a year to respond back in January of 2013. So I had to deal with, now this is the timeline, and Christopher would leave and come back. Okay, that's his MO. He would leave and come back. He wanted to be my boyfriend at the time and everything, but then all of a sudden, 4 months down the line, after he had gotten back from his trip in Florida in 2013, because all my friends kept telling me, hop the bus, go see him, since he was here, right? No, I didn't want to act like that. I just met him in that January, even though he was here in March, right? After he got back, he said his past came back to haunt him. I hung up the phone because I was dealing with a lot of stuff from past exes that's another thing I'm going to talk about later, that they all, well, I can tell you about now. I went back and checked on all my exes, and they are all living their lives. I have no ties to them whatsoever. They basically got what they wanted and everything. So basically, I have no worry about any of them coming back looking for me, which is what I wanted. I did not want any more ties. Some of them, yes, stayed friends and brothers and everything, but that meant that I don't have to be wondering what happened, you know? Would they want me back? Would they whatever? Would they want me as a friend or anything? No, they were all good. I checked on everybody. So that left Christopher Graham John Fuel as the last person that would be in my life, right? So basically, all of a sudden everything was going fine. I had to deal with him talking about this girl, Rika, and Carriad, and all this other stuff, and it just built up, and I was like, but he wasn't mine yet. We were starting to be friends. You know? He lived far away. I didn't know if he'd, even though he visits Florida, I thought maybe he'd come to New York one day and everything, right? Then all of a sudden, he just disappeared. And I was like, what the hell's going on? I was in the emergency room. He never responded to me, all the other stuff. And it was just like he was off in his own little world, right? So I figured, okay, he's one of those friends. And people are checking on me every time I want to do something. So basically, I sat there and I'm like, okay, he's done, he's gone, whatever. So that was 2013. And he's gone again, blah, 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 on and off, right? And everything. Blocked, reblocked. I mean, we had our fights, but we always made up, right? Then one big fight, and I was done. I was moving on. It was in 2014. All of a sudden, about a month after it, I kept getting this weird feeling about something. And all of a sudden, one of my friends was around, and I'm like, they go, do you know he's posting pictures about you and everything and all this other stuff? And I'm like, but I'm not going to his page. This is in 2014. But I had a funny feeling about something. I just couldn't shake. That's when I knew about my heart tug for him. and I know people are weird about this, but this is where it comes in about me being tested when I was younger and all the other tests I've gone through. I just had a funny feeling, and I've never had this feeling unless it was like more family members or someone, I don't know, it was just always like with my psychic abilities and my empathic abilities I was tested with, it only works on people that sort of either open their heart to me or they are supposed to be in my life, or people that, like, I can feel other people's biorhythms. All right. It's a weird thing. That's why I wanted to study biopsychology. I wanted to know why I can feel other people's feelings empathically and why me to interpret it and everything. Okay. So I knew something was wrong, but everyone was like, no, he's mean to you, ditch him. This was in 2014, around March, April, and everything, or whatever time this happened, this situation that I'm leading up to. I said, I got to call him. I got to call Christopher. Everyone was like, no, don't call him. I said, no, something's wrong. Let me call him. And you can see the tears are coming out of my eyes because that feeling won't go away. All of a sudden, a week later, and my heart just kept feeling like something was wrong, like it was being ripped out of its chest. But everyone was like, no, don't call him. He hurt you. Don't call him. It had turned out I get a voicemail call screaming at me that he was upset that his grandfather had passed from cancer, and basically was pissed at me because I was not picking up the phone. Well, it's a catch-22. When you threw me away that time and blocked me and everything and stuff, what did you expect? And that's why everybody kept telling me, don't call him, don't whatever, right? That's when I knew I could feel him, and I was like, this is crazy. How come I can feel him? I never could feel any of my other boyfriends like that or anything. Or friends even. Friends I could feel like a little twinge, but how come I could feel that? And that's what always threw me off. That's maybe what this is, sheer curiosity on how come I can do that with him. So after his grandfather, I consoled him about that and everything, and he promised, and this is the thing, he breaks so many promises to me, he wasn't going to hurt me again. As you can see, I'm trying to hold my tongue right now because of everything. So here's what happened. Everything was going fine until he started getting shady again on me. I was like, okay, what the hell's going on now? This is 2014. You're seeing where we're leading up to this. He started getting shady. He was with these other girls. I still considered him a friend, but it was almost like if he mentioned me or anything, or he didn't even mention me, like I was always some girl or whatever, like I was disrespected all the time. Then all of a sudden, basically for some reason, he just kept getting nasty with me and everything, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I was getting all these threatening emails. I was getting, you name it, stuff like that, and just dealing with all these little idiots saying that they belong to him, stop taking our friend away, you American this and everything. And this was all in 2000. This has been since I've known him, but it got worse over the years. He'd tell me to ignore it, but it was just too much. And when I had a psychic dream that I had seen him in a coffin, I usually interpret my dreams, because this is the problem with my psychic ability. Some are dreams, meaning actual future events and everything that are on timelines that basically can happen, but future's not written. It can be changed or altered, but if some stay exactly the same, they are fixed points. Just like when you deal with anything, even TV shows and everything. And it's the easiest way to explain what I see and do and everything, right? So this one saw him in a coffin, and I got upset, and I was trying to get in touch with him to the point where he didn't want to be around me. He basically ditched me on December 7th, 2014, and told me to basically fuck off right before my graduation that he was all excited about months prior and happy for me and wanted to DJ and do stuff with and everything, and telling me how much he cared about me. So, and then he posts on his Facebook page, and some of these people wanted to hurt me because of everything, and I'm like, I did nothing wrong. He's the one that leaves me and hurts me. So everyone said to me, get out of the house, move on, right? I got out of the house, moved on, had a fun night. And that's when I said I'm changing my life, because one guy was trying to take me home and out to his house. And I was like, no, I'm not going to be a one-night stand anymore. I'm not going to be garbage anymore, you know? Then comes along his friend, Mark, who was breaking up from somebody. And basically we consoled each other. I'm just going to leave it at that. We consoled each other because that's what we both needed at the time and everything. And all of a sudden, I hear rumors that Christopher had fallen for me. I was getting phone calls from around April, right before my graduation. I was starting to see that I was being unblocked, all this other stuff. Everyone's like calling me up, talk to him. Talk to him. He's devastated. Talk to him. He fell for you. He can't stop talking about you. Talk to him. He doesn't know this. He doesn't know how many people called me. I was like, no. He did this to me once before. I was not going through this again. I have a graduation to deal with. I have all this stuff that I had to deal with. I would have graduated with higher honors if I didn't have all the stress of dealing with my family and him at the time. I was just getting back to my life. And that would be in around 2015. Okay? So here comes my graduation. All this other stuff and everything, right? I get an email from Christopher begging me to take him back. I love when that goes off because that validates everything. I always figure that's a guardian angel just saying, yes, that's true. He begged me. I said no. He kept saying he was sorry. He was saying he apologized for what he did with Carriette. He apologized for what he did with Gwen. He apologized what he did with Tekla. He apologized, Lucy, all this, even Rika, he apologized, right? I still didn't believe him. I said, I saw this thing that Medea does about a tree and everything, how it's leaves, branches, and roots and everything. Because you need strong roots, right? Branches break off, leaves fly away, but they can grow into something. He wanted to be a root. I saw him as a leaf. He was just going to keep blowing away. But he wanted, and he was like, no, I'll be a branch. And I said, no, you can break too, easily. If he was the leaf that was growing into something, then maybe, yeah, I could see that. I gave him hell. But like all these things, he would not come on Skype. He would not do anything. He typed it all. And then when he finally came on Skype, because he was afraid of what I would say or do, he didn't want to see my face. Would you, after hurting me all that time? So, basically, I asked him about Jessica. I asked him about the other thing. He goes, if I wanted to ask her out, I would have asked her out already. I also found out some insight on my trip that he was planning to go to Florida for 6 months. During that time that he ditched me. But at the same time, he was coming for my graduation for only 4 days. Now that's disrespect. That is disrespectful. But that's beside the point right now because I want to explain about why he begged me back. Begged me back, and he said he would like me to be the girlfriend, finally. And that was in July, August 2015. I said on one stipulation, you make an effort to come here. You make an effort to not disrespect me anymore. Look how long that lasted. You make an effort to show that I am your friend. I am your girlfriend. You let people know what I mean to you and where we've been, stuff like that. Yeah, look how long that lasted. He lied to Sam and David about where he was with me. So, okay, there's a running thing with this. Don't worry, I'm getting to it, right? Okay, so basically everyone did not know for a whole year because we were trying to keep it on the down low for things and stuff because we were still trying to get used to the idea. Then when it finally got announced after the fact that people were harassing me and everything because he told other people what was going on. That's the thing. He could talk to other people about it, but he couldn't talk to me. Also, when we were officially saying boyfriend and girlfriend, I would get yelled at by people and told I'm stealing pictures and things like that. Even till the day I was out there and everything. Even my pictures that I have now, they're saying that even with me in them, that I stole the pictures, that I'm stalking him, that I'm this and everything. Meanwhile, everybody else can post pictures of him, but as me as the girlfriend at the time, or I don't know what I am now, I couldn't post a picture. And I'm like, what the hell? Even things I was being called on, say, look at his page about how he puts all his friends on a pedestal and you're not even in the book. There's not even something about you. There's not this. And I sit there and I go like, you know what? I want to trust him because of things I know and stuff like that. But at the same time, this is where it gets now down to the wire. His friends, Alex and Kim, came to New York, got to meet me and everything. I was invited to the wedding. Okay. I figured I'll go for a week and everything, right? Just to see. And basically blah, blah, blah and everything, right? So, while I was thinking and preparing for that, his parents offered to help me with the trip, but then they paid for it because I could get to London, but I couldn't get any further, and I would have to figure out how to get spending money. It was a long thing. So they figured they'd help me out. And I appreciate them. I love them. I love them like my second parents. But it's Christopher that ruins that relationship. Because this is where I'm getting to now things. And my allergies are kicking in. So let me get a tissue real quick and also the boxes to show you. So give me 1 sec. Where did I put that thing? Okay, that's there. This one. This one. Okay. Ow, that's heavy. That's heavy. That is really heavy. Okay. Ooh, sorry. That noise. You guys heard that? Okay, like that. Sec. Okay. Okay, guys. I'm sorry for that. All right. Now, let me get back into camera angle. Beautiful. Okay, and if you guys notice, I'm starting to lose weight. And that's part of the other thing I want to talk about. Okay? So, okay, so where are we going? The wedding. Okay. So, in my book I'm writing, I'm talking about the 100 days before the wedding. How we get there, 100 days before my trip, or anything like that, right? And I notice as I'm rereading it, Christopher went MIA on me again. Computer's broken, things like that. Every excuse you can think of in the book. Now, here's my dilemma on the situation of that. I had not traveled on an airplane for 11 years. And that was to Disney World on a 2-hour plane that my sister concocted all the damn things because they were trying to get me not to go on that trip either. Yeah, my sister tried to talk me out of that trip because she wanted it to be her friend thing. So, fine and great and everything, okay? I know what it's like when I'm not wanted. Oh, and trust me, I do. So I needed him because I was not sure about the plane. I needed to have reassurance that everything would be okay. But I didn't hear from him. Up until I landed in Newcastle, I did not hear from him. And I'm sitting there, my dad's like, just bear with it. Just bear with it. You know? Okay? So, basically, he went MIA on me again. He ran. Like he's always done. He's run. Okay? Now, I knew that trip was from hell and back because it started off fun as my plane was delayed and they put me on an earlier plane and ended up getting delayed again and all. It was just one of those where, you know, only to be prejudged when I got there. He prejudged me. It seems that I'm being compared to another version of a girl. I have similar attributes and likes and dislikes as this person. Also, I found out that his mother and his father have told me that he has autism, Asperger's syndrome. But it's like they're going to be reevaluating him or getting him more evaluated because they ruled out after years of me yelling at him the trigeminal neuralgia because it wasn't that. The neck injury wasn't that. Okay? He basically has nothing wrong with him. See? That validates it. He has nothing wrong with him. that he's on he's got tramadol from the trigeminal neuralgia that they misdiagnosed him with. He basically is addicted to it. It's like popping candy to him, and he's done that over the 3 years I've watched him, and it's messed with his mind, his memory, and everything. Now, it also messes with certain physical side effects, if you get my drift, as well as other things. So I basically was also dealing with that, as well as the fact that no one tells Christopher no. And he is a spoiled brat, and he will hate me for this. Because like I said, if you didn't do anything wrong, why stick around? You don't want me? Go, just leave. You know, all his other little minions left and everything that, you know, yes, I'm pissed. Because I finally thought Christopher had grown up, and he didn't. He played me like all the other people that played me in my life. And he wants to play the victim in this. Okay? I'm used to him going away and leaving me. Hurt me the most was the fact that he's telling me he wants a physical, romantic, love relationship with me. But through the whole trip, never let me stay in the bedroom with him. Never cuddled with me. Never did things that boyfriends are supposed to do with their girlfriends. He stuck me in the other room that was haunted. And when you read my book, you will know why I said it's haunted. Okay? He was talking to somebody late at night. Every time I got up. We were never alone. He ditched me on the Cardiff trip. We had one day there, and he managed to make it the worst day ever. And that will be in my book too. And when I go to talk to him about it, he feels like he's being persecuted and belittled. No. I'm voicing what I'm upset about. A relationship is a two-way street, not a one-way street. He made it a one-way street. And everyone has told me I'm a fool, I'm an idiot for dealing with him because he is a spoiled brat, because no one tells him no. He thinks his video games, his podcast, and everything else are more important than me that whole trip. Chasing after an 18-year-old to go get a video game or a board game or whatever it was at a game store, and forgetting that it was our only day, full day in Cardiff, and it was our date day, date night, everything, to make up for all that he had done through the whole trip. But here's the thing. The trip it was ruined, but it was ruined because none of them wanted to ask my opinion about something. And this is where I'm getting at it. His father was injured. Father had to be in the hospital. Why didn't anybody ask me if it was okay to delay certain things for next time and just be with your husband and your father? Just stick me on a couch and give me see? Just, oh wow, see, that's validating. I swear that's a guardian angel validating. I hope that's his grandfather or my relatives. Okay? Just stick me on a couch. Give me a movie. You know? Go be with your husband. Go be with your father. It didn't matter to me if we went so many places or anything. The only things that were really scheduled was the play and Cardiff. Everything else could have waited. We didn't have to go everywhere, but we were never alone. That's why we never got close. He doesn't understand that. And the times I wanted to get close, he just jumped every time his mother was there. We kept saying, is there another girl? Is this? I just could not believe he had done this to me. He threw away every chance he did to try to make it better because either the Asperger's or like some of my other friends say, maybe he was a virgin in everything. And I can understand that if you're sheltered because of a disability. I didn't do much of anything. Like I said, I got abused by my first boyfriend in college. And I didn't do anything until I was like 29, 30. So that's a big gap. That was like 17, 18 years old. And then you're 29, 30. That's a big gap of trying to trust people after you've been abused and everything. And then having bad relationships after that and after that. Everyone keeps saying, what do you attract of? It's not that. As part of being an empath and everything, I could tell when someone is doing something shady and stuff. I knew Christopher was up to something. And that's another thing he didn't understand. You're pushing me away. Why am I going to make any effort to get close to you? Okay? Because every time I tried to get close, you either pulled away or pushed me away. So how is that? You know what I mean? You sent mixed signals and everything. And then he blames me and everything when he asked me and begged me back and wanted me to be the girlfriend. This is what no one understands. And this is why I'm upset with people who decided to run when I asked for help. And I do thank the ones that stayed and want me and him to work it out. Because I'm not throwing away 3 years worth of friendship. I don't know if I'll ever want to date him again or anything if he asks. But I'm not throwing away 3 years worth of friendship. I'm done with the fact that of being disrespected. And I'm done with the fact of him lying to me and lying to others about me and having them call me a bitch and everything else because he allows it. And that's why I had sent him a text message showing, because he also on Facebook is restricted me, and he was off chat for about 5 days that I told him he needed to fix this. We all need our cooling off time, but I tested it for a day because I don't get mad that easily unless you really piss me off. And this is box 1 of everything that on the trips and everything and stuff like that. So if you guys see Facebook or anything, this is box 1. It's very heavy. It has all the brochures. My friendship ring that I had given to him and me, he has a copy and I have a copy, is in there. Everything is in there because I'm done with being disrespected. I don't even know if he can fix this. And then this is the second box. Okay, and this box was actually the 6 roses he had sent me the last time he had fucked up everything and stuff. He and his mom didn't even know he sent me 6 blue roses. I just don't want to be there when people don't want him. I want him to want me. And if he can't want me as me because he's trying to fill a void because someone doesn't want him who claimed that they were only friends. Like, he told me he kissed certain people, he made out with certain people, he did everything. And I'm finding out that wasn't true. And he's not denying any of it. Because I'm finding over 100 phone calls. And he won't resolve them or fix them because he wants names, but they gave me fake names. He doesn't understand. I would have went and stayed. I would have had him here. I thought because finally someone wanted me and was trying. But clearly he's not ready. He's not an adult. He wants to act like a child and stay and play with his video games, which are not going to give him love or anything. And false-ass friends and fake friends. There are some good friends in his life. Don't get me wrong. I know which ones are the good ones. That's why, guys, I know which ones you are that are good to him. And he doesn't listen to you either. He only listens to the fake ones, the children. The ones that will, you know what I mean? He might be manipulating them too. So this is the thing. One of his friends, and not only his friends, but some of my friends have called him a sociopath too. Because you have to be one to treat me the way he's been treating me. And this is my thing. Everyone's like, ditch him. See, that's the problem. I know there's more stuff than I let on, which causes things. But this is the thing. Everyone wants to ditch everybody. And no one wants to work at it. He didn't want to work at it. He just feels like he wants to be the victim and play the victim and get the sympathy. I will not give you sympathy. You're an adult. His birthday is on Saturday. Do you think I'm going to be wishing him a happy birthday? No. He forgets my birthday every year. He forgets Christmas every year. He forgets everything for me, but he has a banner made up of all his other friends' birthdays and everything and remembers them during the holidays. So that's why I did all those live feeds. Because I was tired of being disrespected and I wanted my side heard. But a bunch of his friends decided to leave because they didn't want to deal with it. It wasn't your stuff to deal with. Get both sides before you figure out everything. But when I ask for help, don't ignore me either. And that goes for Christopher Graham John Fuel as well. I sit there every day and had to deal with phone calls. And everyone tell me, change your number. No. Why? For children? No. I basically am dealing with a lot. But you know what? Some good came out of all this. I learned that my friend, my boyfriend, my whatever you want to call him, is a lying sack of pond scum and couldn't trust me with anything, but could trust strangers and things with information. He actually asked my friends, Melissa and my friend at work, who I consider my sister, as well as other ones that I consider my sister and my brothers, how to fix this instead of coming downstairs to fix it with me. Because he's scared of me. He has all right to be scared of me because you know what? He hasn't grown up. If he wants this so bad and wants to fix this so bad, start telling the truth. Start getting your ass to the consulate and figure out what the hell you did to your visa and everything. Start learning to trust me. Because I was not going to go anywhere, but thanks to this, I'm done. Now it's my say. And if he wants to fix this, it's on my terms. That means he has to get a friggin' job. He has to prove to me that he's a grown-up. And not mooch off his parents anymore. My parents helped me out because I have a job. And I never asked for an allowance growing up or nothing. I always helped them. So that's why I get the help. But as soon as I get back on my feet, full-time job and everything, or money comes in, it's going to get cut back again. That's the stipulation in my household. You want this money? You want to go do things? You want things done? You have to work for it. You have to get a job. Okay? Also, don't be embarrassed to tell people you're with me. That's what hurt the worst. He puts a post when Sam and David, okay, they had asked him, oh, you were at that Doctor Who experience. When did you go? He goes, I went sometime. You should have said, I went with Felicia, blah, 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 and everything. I don't care if they hate my guts. Because they got misinformed by people at Li Who and everything. Because someone wants to cover up something. I never stopped talking about what happened. Alright? This is the thing. He has no respect for me. And everyone's still saying, why do you still want to be your friend? Because for some odd reason, this is where I'm getting back to this, I can still feel him in my heart. He doesn't want to let me go. He has to let me go, and this is why I backtrack to this. When you're diagnosed as an empath, and about 10 to 25% of the population has this gene, you don't feel feelings the way normal, well, they say normal people, but no one's normal. All right? My interpretation of love, romance, respect, and everything like that is based on a vibe that you give off. It has its own tone, its own electromagnetic. It's hard to explain scientifically, but the way I explain it is I can feel what you're feeling. I can know when you're around, your presence and everything. Now, he wanted love, romance, but he said he didn't need me. He didn't know what he wanted. He's confused about everything the way most of his friends were calling me about it. I'm trying to explain to him what people said to me, and he didn't want to hear it. They have said things that he was gay, to bisexual, to a virgin, that he was immature, mentally incapable of even loving anybody, through mentally retarded, all this other, you name it, they were saying it. And then you had the ones that were trying to say what happened and asked me what happened. They go, oh no, Felicia, he loves you. He cares about you. He doesn't know how to do it. He's lost. Okay? When people had both sides of the story, trying not to cry, my eyes are like, whatever, because, you know, they basically backed off. But then I get this other phone call the other night. And someone was drunk on the phone. I picked up, I thought it was one of my friends because I don't have caller ID in the kitchen because I didn't put a battery in it. And my phone was dying. I told her, call me right away. I thought that was her because that's the only reason I picked up. Otherwise, I would have came in the living room and looked at the caller ID because I was in the kitchen. And it was someone going, read between the lines. Will and Grace, read between the lines. And said some other stuff that they were drunk and hung up on me. I went back to look at the phone because I picked it up right away. It didn't read on the caller ID. I went looking at the cable one. Same thing. So this time I have to let them ring twice before I pick them up. I'm trying to hold back the tears. I hope Christopher sees this. I really do. And I hope his minions see it too. Because I had to put up with a lot on that trip of being pushed away and not wanted and feeling alone. All because there was so much stuff going on that they could have just said, we'll bring you back next year. We'll do something else, you know? But right now we have a family emergency. Just go to your family emergency. I am the most simplest person going. Oh God, how do I explain this to people? I am the least of your problems. I love being around things and seeing things. I would have loved to have been like, okay, go, bye-bye, whatever, right? Leave me there. I could have slipped off some of the jet lag while they were going with his dad and everything. They didn't have to, but they did, and I appreciate that. But family comes first. Granted, I thought I'd be part of that family the way Christopher was always telling me things and how he wanted me before he went stupid on everything and pushed me away and prejudged me. But I would like now, like everyone says to me, can you see yourself in the future with him? Can you see whatever? Future's not written. It can change in a nanosecond. It could change whatever. What I see for my present is I would like my best friend to actually own up to what he lied about and fix it and try to figure out how to fix it and grow up. As for us being boyfriend and girlfriend, I wanted to work at it. And he didn't like the fact that I was all or nothing because I wanted to work at it till he got here to New York. And we could keep trying. Because that's what boyfriends and girlfriends do. They fight, they try, and they make it work. And everyone just wanted it to fail from day one because there's a lot of people that are like not admitting the fact that they want to go out with me. But the problem is some of them I don't want to go out with. My heart chose somebody. And that somebody just couldn't grow up fast enough. So I have to live with that. But I don't have to live with 100 phone calls and harassment and everything because people are paranoid about losing their friend. Their so-called friend, because if they were really friends of his, they would not treat me like this. Plus, we don't know what he's telling them. That's another thing people have brought up to me. And I know that from the 75 phone calls that he's not telling the whole story. So that's where I'm upset. Most of the time, you can fix the simplest thing with me by telling the truth. It's past that, Christopher. It is way past that. It's past the point of flowers. It's past the point of peanut shoes. It's past the point of anything. This is one thing that if you can fix this, I'd love to see you try. I really would. Because I don't even think you can. I don't even think you can think of any way to fix this. There is no way you could fix this that would be up to my standards now. There is no way. If you can think outside the box, or anybody wants to help you with it, to try to fix it, because like I said, I don't stay mad at people very long. I give people chances. But I am done with being disrespected by Christopher Graham John Fuel. I am done by being disrespected and belittled by his friends because he allows them to do that. He's never stopped them from belittling me. Like I said to them all, if you want him, go date him. Why don't you deal with him throwing stuff at a TV or acting like a 2-year-old when he gets upset? Tell him no. He acts like a spoiled brat, and he will stay like a spoiled brat until he knows that you do not throw something at a television if it doesn't work. You go see if it's fixable. Or if a video game, someone who's not played before, messes up the sequence, it's not a reason to yell and scream and try to be like mean to the person as they're playing. It's a friggin' video game. Or push them away for your other friends instead of embracing them with your friends and introducing them as, this is my girlfriend. This is my girlfriend Felicia. This is my girlfriend Gadget. She's from New York. She's from, not, oh, this is company from New York. Oh, nah. This is just somebody that came to visit. No, no, no. We don't play that game. That's disrespect to me. If there was another girl, fine and great. But to find out that I was being compared to another one and everything else, I left my past behind. But this is funny. He tells me, for someone who tells me, no more violin, no more whatever, leave the past behind, new beginnings and everything, especially when he begged me to come back in 2015. Actually, yeah, 2015, because 14 is when he left. We promised not to bring up the past or anything and not to prejudge. But guess what? He used everything and he prejudged me. So, and it's also, the funny part is his sister goes, yeah, you can do better. You deserve better. You know, that was the most disgusting thing I have ever heard from people because they don't want to know the whole side of the story. She gave me a pair of earrings that I was going to wear the next time I was out there because now I can finally, this is almost healed, that I can wear earrings. That I actually got this done so I could wear earrings at the wedding because my holes closed up. And to hear her say that, that's also disrespect to me. That is also disrespect to me. He let her disrespect me. So, I don't hate him. I don't like using that word hate. I'm done with being disrespected by him, yes. He has opportunities to fix it, and I gave him enough opportunities. But clearly he's not going to fix it. That's what I'm seeing by these opportunities. He is not going to fix it. He wants to prove me wrong and fix it? Prove me wrong. Start respecting me. Start respecting my wishes. Start doing whatever. Because he caused all this. And I don't care anymore. He can leave. He could do whatever because how am I supposed to deal with someone who disrespects me every time? How am I? My father said if he really does care about me, he'll find a way. But at the same time, my father also said we were going to help him for 3 months here if he stayed with me. Because we couldn't get him a plane ticket the 3 months, because I was out there for only 3 weeks, right? The 3 months he was here, my father figured out the cost would be the same as the plane ticket. But clearly, that's not going to happen because he's making no effort to fix this. He's making no effort. So, on that note, like I said, I am getting on with my life. I am done with being disrespected by him, by Christopher Graham John Fuel. I am done with being disrespected and belittled by his so-called friends that are doing this, not the ones that are staying out of it. Those ones I appreciate. You guys are being nice. And you know who you are. I am tired of everyone telling me how I should learn how to date people. I do not date pond scum. I am not a wham bam thank you ma'am. I am not a one night stand. I am not a every night a different guy. I am not, no. I'm going to be 40 years old in November. And I'm now going to also get a P.O. box for anything that you guys want to send me. Even though you guys may have my address, no matter what. But I'm looking into that during the week. I'm doing things for me. Because right now, it's my turn. And it's my terms. And I wanted to fix all this. I don't want to throw him away. I want him to grow and learn what it's like to actually be an adult. But I am not fixing him for any other girl. Like I said, he wants to overdose on the tramadol. That's their problem. Not my problem anymore. Because every time he fucking takes that medication, I get pushed aside, and all his other friends mean more to him. So, like I said, I'm sorry, you guys, these are like an hour, but I rarely do them now because I'm working on stuff and getting my life back together. Like I said, I'm taking my life back, and if he wants to fix it, he better figure out a way. Because right now, I don't even think he's going to be bothered. He forgets my birthday. He forgets everything. He even forgot about me and forgot what I was to him and what he begged me to be. Because the only stipulation I took him back was because I thought he grew up and he wanted to finally go to the next step and be boyfriend and girlfriend. So, if he wants to salvage what's left of this, he better come up with a good idea. Because it better be a big one. Because there's no way, I told you, it's past the point of flowers. It's past the point of candy. Past the point of anything. Okay? One of my friends even joked and said, what if he sends you those bouquet of flowers like crazy, or the stitch flowers, or whatever? No. He could send me as many flowers as he wants. He could send me as much peanut chews as he could. It may be a start. But he knows where I work. He knows where I live. I would love, you know what? I would love for him to show up at my job and try to prove without getting bombarded by because a lot of people really are pissed at him right now. A lot of people. But like I said, he has enough money. Oh, that's another thing too I told in the live videos. He has enough money to buy almost $100 worth of comic books but couldn't take me on a boat ride. Or he couldn't pay for my dinner or my movie on our date night after he had to apologize to the 18-year-olds that it was our date night. Instead of apologizing to me. See where I'm going with this, guys? See where I'm going? So, like I said, he has money for comics, he has money for video games, he has money for this, but he had nothing. And I'm not a money-grubbing person. But, you know, it would have been nice to be treated to something. You know? There was money put aside for us for the whole day, for the whole trip. But he bought comics, he bought everything else. Like I said, you could send as many flowers as you want. You could send 1,000, you could send whatever. There's even a chart that tells you how many means things, if you're sorry or anything. But he ain't gonna do that. He could send me peanut chews. He's gonna have to have a peanut chew with him when he walks in the door in front of me. Trust me, he's gonna have to. Okay? Everyone said to me, what did I do by taking him back? You're gonna get hurt again. Yeah, I got hurt. I got prejudged. I got told I'm a 2.0 of somebody else. All he had to tell was the truth. To everybody and to himself. Because if he doesn't realize he's fallen for me, based on what these people have called me about, I don't think he ever will. And I don't know if he can salvage what's left. Figure it out, Christopher. This is my plea. Figure it out. You want to leave, leave. You've done it before to me. You want to fix it? Find a way. Make an effort. Don't run and hide. And also, why don't you ask people who have called me and said that you have fallen for me? Because if you wanted to know what love and romance is and why you feel comfortable and everything, you fell. Your heart will tell you. Open your heart. But until then, it's my terms and my life. And you're not going to keep saying, good girl, be good. No, 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 no. You are going to fix this. And you're going to fix it very well. Because, like anything in my life, when things go wrong, I don't shut up about it until the truth comes out. So, good night to everyone, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning here. Sorry about that. Because they also are cutting the water off in our building. So I have to go see about the water and everything. So, guys, like I said, I'm taking my life back. I'm doing something for me. If he wants to fix this, give him some ideas. Trust me. If he really does know me well and wants me in his life, he'll figure it out. So, good night. Have fun. And hopefully, the winds of change will happen. I doubt he will fix it. He's just going to give up like he always do. Unless he wants to prove me wrong. But knowing him, he's going to run again like he always does. So, bye guys.